Chapter 12 of Tanya, following our series, following the cycle of the study of Tanya for this year, 2021 5782. And here the Alter Rebbe now starts talking about what the Tanya is really all about, understanding the Beinuni, the middle person, the intermediary person. And here the Alter Rebbe says, so if a tzaddik, the godly soul, is in control, a rasha, the worldly soul, is in control, sometimes or all the time. What is a Beinuni? Because the minute the worldly soul is in control even once, is a rasha, he's a sinful person. If he does good, then the godly soul is in control, then he's a tzaddik. So here the Alter Rebbe says that there are really two levels of what we're talking about. On one hand, we talk about speech, thought, and action, the garments. Does a person, who wins there? Does a person do any sins both in speech, thought, or action, or not? So the Beinuni does not sin. It always wins. The godly soul always wins that it doesn't sin. But in a tzaddik, they also conquered the worldly soul. There may be a little bit hidden, very deeply hidden of negativity in them, but they basically conquered, has no say, has no power to even express itself in any way. In this, the Beinuni is like the sinful person, that he has a very strong worldly soul that is constantly operating, trying to push its agenda. But he has worked hard enough that the godly soul is in control, that it never passes the gateway to express itself in thought, speech, and action of sinful thoughts, sinful speech, or sinful action. And this is really where the Beinuni has reached. So the Beinuni, at certain times, is able to awaken the godly soul to be the ruler totally, like during prayer, especially during the reading of the Shema, the blessings before and after, which are designed to awaken the godly soul to such a strong level that the worldly soul is almost like asleep during that time. But the moment prayer is over, the worldly soul comes out of its sleep and it's pushing hard to try to get its agenda into the person and to follow its way. And therefore a person cannot save themselves for some foreign thought or idea falling into their mind. The difference is that the rasha will think about it, and even though it's in your mind, it's a sin. But the Beinuni, the intermediary person, doesn't even think about it. The moment something comes up, there remains strength from their prayer, where the godly soul was so revealed that is able to constantly push it away, that it doesn't express itself in thought, speech, or action. And this is what the Alter Rebbe concludes, is the story of Joseph. That Joseph's brothers caused him terrible harm, and out of hatred they sold him. But yet Joseph turned around and paid them back with good and more good and double good, because the worldly soul, as part of the heart, is always able to be controlled naturally by the godly soul that is in the brain. As we said, by nature, God made it that the brain controls the heart. But it's not a nature that will happen by default. It's a nature that exists that you have to employ. So the godly soul employs its intellectual process of understanding, and through prayer, through meditating on God, and then it is in control enough that it never allows the worldly soul to ever implement its desires within the person. Now, it's possible to be a Beinuni even though you sinned at some point, but if you reach the level now where you did teshuvah, where you repented, and now you're in a place where you will not sin, you're called a Beinuni. And that's what the Alter Rebbe says, that a Beinuni is someone who won't sin, doesn't sin, and never sinned. Meaning at the level you are now, sin is very foreign from you, because the worldly soul can never get it past first base or the three garments of speech, thought, and action. This concludes chapter 12 of Tanya. To see the rest of our series, go to Chabad of the Town YouTube channel.